Well, hey there, Catherine from Catherine Pooler Designs. Our newest collection with Sizzix is now available. It is perfect for all of your paper crafting for spring and Easter, whether you're making cards, scrapbooks, projects, you name it. You're gonna find what you are gonna need for spring in this collection. We are gonna go over so many different techniques. We're gonna make 3 cards. We're gonna look at inking techniques, stamping and ink blending, watercoloring, and a cool way to use that stencil and stamp tool. So let's get going. The main products we're going to use in the video today are the Bunny Bits and Blooms stamp set and the coordinating framelits. So the stamp set has line art images that you're going to want to color in with the medium of your choice, and then we have a few solid stamps. The framelits have dies that cut out the stamps, so we have the full bunny and the bunny bits, the bunny bottom, the peeking bunny, the bunny ears, the full bunny. Of course, we have the pot and the leaves and the flowers. And then we have some standalone. These are framelets. So we have 2 hearts, 2 pieces of foliage, and a bunny head. So cute. This is the ear, the eyes, the insides of the ears, and the cheeks. Yes, so cute. So this will be the main focus, and we're going to start out by stamping and die cutting all of these pieces, and then we're going to weave in all the other amazing, or so many of the other amazing products in this collection, so you're going to see how everything works together. I'm going to stamp these with Catherine Pooler Designs Midnight ink. This is an archival ink. It is permanent, and it's going to work with lots of different mediums that you may choose to color with. So with the stencil and stamp tool, I can set them all up at once, and I can stamp them on multiple pieces of cardstock. And then if I stamp and I miss a couple places, which you know, when you're stamping, it's a handcraft and that happens, you get a couple extra passes to make it right. As long as I have them all set up, we'll go ahead and do several pieces of cardstock. Now here is my watercolor cardstock. I think I have enough room on the other side of this piece of watercolor cardstock to just turn it, but we can get the ears, the peeking bunny, the pot, can do those. I just took 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it in half. It was just an easy, quick cut to get my cardstock ready to go. Now I have my bunnies, my bits, my pot. I don't have my blooms yet, but I'll get to those. I have 2 pieces of regular cardstock, 1 piece of watercolor cardstock. You could do more to just have them on hand as you go. But let's clean up a little bit of water on my stamps and wipe them down. You can also use some stamp cleaner. I recommend, if you use stamp cleaner, then you're going to want to use water also, because you don't want to have cleaner on your stamp and then stamp it back into your stamp pad, because then you're adding cleaner to your pad. So these clean up pretty well. Look at that. Then we can just take them off and put them back into the package. Next, I want to stamp some of the solid images to decorate. So I'm choosing a color palette. I'm choosing Cotton Candy, Tiki Torch, Samba, Garden Party, oh boy, Limoncello, Martini, and then we have Gingerbread, which is going to be great for the bunnies. Pixie Dust and Twilight is also going to be great for the bunnies. First, I'm going to do Garden Party. I want this greenery to be Garden Party, so we'll stamp that. The flowers, let's do Cotton Candy. Cotton Candy is our lightest, vibrant pink. And then for the top of this flower here, I want to add a little bit of interest. So I'm going to grab Tiki Torch and I'm going to just ink up the top of that flower and add a little Tiki Torch in the center. So cute. So we'll do Pixie Dust. And it's looking like I need a little bit of re-inking. Grab my Pixie Dust ink refill and gently run that over the ink pad as I'm squeezing, and that will give a nice good refresh. Now we want to smooth the ink across the pad, so just use your block to spread the ink out. Make sure it's a clean block. You don't want to contaminate your ink pad. Oh yeah, you can see how much better that is. Ah, awesome. So now I will just add my Thinlits over the images and die cut them, and then I will have a variety of flowers in different colors to add to my projects. The hearts are actually Thinlits, and they're solid, so then you can't, I mean, you probably could line those up. You can also die cut them and then stamp the die cuts, but if you want to just cut out solid hearts, just take your Samba or any of your colors and just swipe it across the cardstock, and you instantly have colored cardstock. And the great thing about this is that it perfectly coordinates with your project and the other ink colors that you're using. There's also a sprig, so let's do Martini direct to paper. My ink pads may need a little bit more re-inking, and just bada boom, cut that out. Perfect coordination. I also love Sizzix cardstock because it's textured, and one of the things about making a polished handmade card is textures and layers and things like that. So the textured cardstock that they offer is really great for that. There we go. Then we will just die cut these real quick. And we have adorable Samba flowers, hearts. We have the Martini foliage. Now here is another great way to die cut and stamp. I just die cut my flower images. I have a bunch, just run them through your Big Shot. And then on my stencil and stamp tool, I'm gonna take an ink, doesn't matter what color. I'm gonna add just the stamped image right on that piece of sticky grid. And then this is the piece that I cut out from here when I was originally stamping. So I'm going to, and if you can't see that well enough, use a darker color. I don't know why I use cotton candy. I can't see that. My eyes are not 20 anymore. Hello. So I'm just gonna take this and position it right over my images. And because my grid is tacky, it's gonna stick right down, right? Now I'll take my die cuts, fit them right in here like a puzzle. Da, da, da. And you are gonna have stamped, perfectly stamped images every time. I need some limoncello. So I'm just gonna clean these stamps off. Catherine Pooler inks comes off stamps very, very easily. Just a little damp paper towel or a damp cloth, and you'll be able to lift that ink right off your stamps. So limoncello, and if I want any shading and interest on the stamps, I can do that before I pull those images off. So a little bit of tiki torch on this one, and maybe a little tiki torch in the center there. I want to blend that ink out a bit, so I'll just use a blending brush and just add some interest onto that stamped image, and then pull these out, and they're perfect. So now I'm getting a little rainbow of flowers over here. You can do as many as you want. And if you use one color palette for all of your stamped images, then you know everything is going to coordinate together. I really love these that have a little bit of multicolor going on. So I wanted to create a few more of those, and I thought I would do some purple and blue ones. So we'll do Oh Boy first. And then another way to apply ink is to use a little blending brush. So I'm gonna use my mini blending brush, and I'm gonna pounce color onto various parts of my stamps. I'm gonna do a little in the center on this one. My gosh, it's gonna be so cute. So again, one of the beauties of the stencil and stamp tool is that you can just keep going in with color and inking and stamping until you get the desired look. Let me see if I do a little blue with purple on top and blend the blue and purple together. That may also help blend those colors out. So pretty. Once I got started with that ink blending, I just couldn't stop. It was so satisfying and just so fun to stamp a whole bunch of these flowers. They're going to be so fabulous on my projects. It's time to start coloring some bunnies. So we're going to take the Sizzix Multimedia Mat, And the Twilight ink pad, we'll just dab down a little bit of that ink here and add some water. These images are all stamped on watercolor cardstock, so we can just come in and paint the adorable bunnies. So we'll do just a light gray color wash over the bunny bodies. I'm using a pretty wet brush, and then if I want some areas of shading, I can just pick up a little more concentrated ink and dab down and let the water do its job and move that color around and give me a little bit of shading. And a little cotton candy for his cheeks. I'm gonna need pink in the ears too. The pot can be done in so many different colors. Let's use gingerbread for this one. Can also do some extra painting on the pot and make patterns and mix colors together, have two-toned or three-toned pots. I think a patina pot would be really cool too. If you want a higher concentration of color when you're watercoloring, you can also use the ink refill straight onto your multimedia mat. For the leaves, let's try some martini. Add in just a little bit of water, and let's do this leaf. And just let that color do what it wants. Same here. We'll just wet this down and pick up some more color and just let it work around. So if you let your project dry and then you come back in, you can get some really good layering of color. And I got a watermark here. You may want to leave it for interest and texture, but if you don't, just use your brush to kind of smooth that out and add in more color. Now I have my bunnies stamped, colored, die cut. I have a garden full of blooms, and it's time to make some cards. We are going to go simple on this first card and do sentiment and the bunny. Stamp that in Midnight ink. A little heart right there. Assembly is easy, just a little foam tape on the back of the layer, the bunny, and we could leave it as is, or if you want to add a little something something, we can add a little flower. Absolutely adorable, really simple, and just as cute as can be. For the next card, we're going to add a little more. We're going to take a piece of computer paper, just a scrap. I just need the other way. I need a straight line. I want, about a third of the card layer on the bottom to be ink blended. So we'll take Garden Party and an ink blending brush and just using a light hand, just ink blend Garden Party all over the bottom of this card layer. I want a nice ombre look. I want it darker at the top and lighter as I go down. So I'm just concentrating a little bit more inking and blending here at the top and lightening as I go down to the bottom of the card. This just gives texture and interest to your card. Peel your mask back and reveal the bottom of the card. That now is a great place for grounding your images. The Bunny Bits and Blooms has the What's Happening, Happy Easter, Some Bunny Loves You, and those are fantastic. But we also made a companion sentiment set. So this is Sending Sunshine. We'll take this sentiment here. We'll stamp that in Midnight ink. Love it. Oh, I love the font of Joyful. It's so pretty. I also thought the sprig from the Bunny Bits and Blooms would be really cute to just stamp a couple here on the bottom just for some extra texture. Super cute. And I got a little thumbprint there, so we're gonna have to cover that up with something. Now I have my pot. I'm gonna add that to my card layer. You can also ink blend Oh Boy at the top if you want to do a sky. Then we have the bunny booty. Love him. And guess what? He goes right over my thumbprint. Yes. I want to tuck in some greenery and flowers. You can just do a couple or a ton. Oh, I think adding one down here would be really, really cute. And then the samba next to the green, the garden party, I think that'll look really pretty. When I adhered the bunny, I just added foam tape right under his tail. So then I'm able to tuck these pieces in and around or under and around the bunny. I'm gonna tuck these leaves in, but I don't really need that stem, so you can just trim it off. This bunny is really getting into trouble. Could also add a little heart in there. That's cute. Before I adhere my card together, I think a layer might be nice. So I think samba, which will pick up that extra flower and the heart that I added. And I think that will be a nice tie-in. So let's see how this looks. Now, when you do that direct to paper method, be careful because I definitely get inky fingers when I'm doing that. Just need to make sure you clean up after yourself so that you don't get fingerprints all over like I do. But you know, it's handmade, so fingerprints, in my book anyway, my opinion, I think they're okay. And usually I can hide them in some way. So I think that samba background really makes this card pop. Oh my goodness, so, so cute. Now I'm going to add in some images from the Greenhouse Finds stamp set and framelits. So we have this stamp set with gardening things. So the watering can, some stacked pots, garden tools, some seed packets, and a planter, and then a garden shelf. I love the greenery. Oh my gosh, this one that has the mixed solid stamps with the open outline stamps and the little hearts. So cute and fun to tuck in and around your garden on your card. And then remember, the open dies are the ones that coordinate with the stamped images. And then we have some that are solid, and those just cut out standalone images. This one is a little heart, and it is so adorable. It cuts this out. I love that. It's just a little cute image to add to your card fronts. Now we can use a masking technique to make this window box longer. So let's just take a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to ink up the window box, stamp it. This is watercolor paper that I'm using. And then with the stencil and stamp tool, here is a really cool feature. Ready for this? Take the top off, move it over a notch. I'm gonna move my scratch paper to the other side, and when I stamp, voila, I instantly have a longer planter. Oh my gosh, perfect. Now for this window box, I want to try to do kind of a patina look. I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out, but let's give it a shot. So I think Oh Boy, martini, and a little gingerbread. We'll get a little bit of water, and then I'll paint the window box with water to start out with. Let's add in some blue. Little green. it'll be a really fun, textured, multicolored planter box. And I'm having fun to boot, so what's better than that? And remember, if you want to darken up the color, you can always add ink refill. Let's see what a little bit of gingerbread in here looks like. Oh yeah, that's perfect. This is going to be really cute when I fill it up with bunnies and flowers. Can also add a little speckling. So you want a pretty wet paintbrush when you do this. I got a couple flicks off of the planter, and I think that's fine because it's just going to add to the beauty and texture of this card. And we'll let that dry. So as I'm arranging my bunnies and my foliage in the planter box, I decided I wanted to use some of the greenhouse garden or greenhouse finds stamps, and I stamped them, die cut them. They're ready to go. This little bunny is on some foam tape, and we'll just pop him here, and then we'll just glue down the rest of the images. And if you use liquid glue and you're playing with arrangement, you have a little bit of wiggle room there for placement. Actually, let me just add glue to all of these pieces, and then I can put them down and wiggle them around. Make sure I get them in the places that I want. Let's tuck him under the bunny a bit. And this one was longer, but I only wanted to use part of it, so I just trimmed a bit off. This grow stake, so cute. For the sentiment, I wanted to pull in the scalloped circles, borders, and banners. And this was made to coordinate with the sentiment set. So I cut one out of cotton candy and then got my stencil and stamp tool ready and hello friend onto the banner. And we'll glue this right onto the pink banner. And then we'll glue this piece onto the cotton candy cardstock. Can add this to the bottom of the planter. So cute. Did I get all of these pieces glued down? Yes. Seed packet, the gardening tools. Maybe I'll just use one. I added some foam tape to the stamped layer, and we're adding that over gingerbread cardstock that I use the direct to paper method to color. Ties everything in, and then we'll just add this to the card front. So using all the same products, we went from simple to a step up to a bigger step up. And I still have all of these flowers and different elements to use on more cards. In this set of framelits, we also included this bunny. So I wanted to share how to create it. So I'm gonna take a little cotton candy, just ink my paper. And this guy I'm gonna do in white. And then this part is gonna be white as well. And the inside of the ears and the cheeks is gonna be pink. And let's do pink hearts. We'll die cut these with the Big Shot. These two pieces are the inside of the ears. This piece is the flap, so his ear is flapped over, and you can just adhere it straight to the ear, or you can give it some foam tape and then it will be dimensional, and that would be fun as well. Oh my gosh, so cute. And the little cheeks. All the spots that you add these little pieces to are embossed so that you know exactly where to put them. And then for the eyes, if you want to cut these out of black and then add them on, most certainly can do that. I like to just grab my pen and color it in. If you're worried about your penmanship, then the little black dots would be perfect. And color in the nose, little mouth. You can give him a smile if you want. Ah, so cute. So there we have a bunny head. What if you want to make a body for him? We can do that. So take this piece. This is the framelit that cuts out the stamped image. We're going to trim the top off. We're going to add the head here. And then for the bunny's tail, I'm going to take the smallest flower die. I'm going to trim just a bit off of the tail that is on here because I don't want it to peek out from underneath this one. Make sure his head stays on straight. And I can't resist adding a heart to his body. Now he is ready to adorn cards just like this. So I have a few more cards to share before I go. I love how Lisa Harrell created this card with the bunny on either side of this little banner. And that banner is from the Scallop Circles Borders and Banners. And then you have all these border pieces as well. And Christy Goulet did this one and used the watering can. She die cut that with mirror cardstock. And another Lisa Harrell card using the large scallop circle, the bunny booty. And this card is so great by Amanda Fitterer because it uses all three of the peeking bunnies, just the ears, the bunny head, and the bottom. And the stamps, you don't always have to die cut them. So here they were used to create a background. And here's another one by Lisa Harrell using all three of those peeking bunny parts. And then if you want to use the Greenhouse Fine stamp set on its own, here are a few ideas for you. I love this background stamping with just a little gray shadow there. It just really gives a lot of dimension. And then a simple card with an angled layer piece and the seeds and herbs and the watering can. And then here's a whole scene with the planter and the gardening shelf. Just love it. So these cards are going to be perfect for Easter, spring, for garden enthusiasts. And I'm so excited that we have teamed up to bring you this collection. I hope you all love it as much as we do. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you again very soon.